Welcome to Crisler Arena here in a beautiful Saturday afternoon. It's warm inside, a little chilly outside. My name is Matthew Levy, joined by Kendall Spencer in a beautiful day for some basketball. The women's team, the Michigan Wolverines, coming in at 1-0 after their win versus UPI last week, and they faced the St Francis Brooklyn Terriers. So any thoughts early, Kendall, on what we can see on this matchup as we're about to tip off?
So obviously Michigan coming in, having a pretty dominant season last year. Obviously their first Sweet 16, or most recent Sweet 16 run. They're just really looking to keep the momentum going. They had a really good win over IUPUI. Just looking to come out early, dominate this game, and get it started.
And the first basket for the Wolverines is Naz Hillman inside for two. That's the start you want to see if you're the Wolverines. Here is the Terriers, led by point guard Navina. Let me try to pronounce this, Dimitrievich. She is the point guard. She loves to push the ball in transition. This Terriers team loves to run. Swinging across to Edwards. Edwards looking inside, stolen away. Here comes Emily Kaiser up the floor, kicking it out. Back across to Brown. Brown looks inside. Hillman for two, and she's got her second layup of the day. A 4-0 early lead for the Wolverines.
Naz is obviously the senior, looking to make a big impact for the Wolverines here this season.
So here is late, and she'll swing it around. Dimitrievich inside for two. No, trying to get her own rebound, but then corralled by Isabella Posset. Dimitrievich looking to drive. Kicks it out. Here is a three from Fisher. She is the main shooter for this squad. It does not go. Rebound out to the Wolverines. Here's Brown. If you're just joining us, a 4-0 early start. Here's a three from Nolan. No. And a rebound taken by the Terriers. Dimitrievich. Oh, stolen away. Here's Leah Brown on the push. Brown the layup. Gets it to go. And the foul. What a start for Leah Brown. Starting today, no Amy Dilk. So she got the start. She played really well in the last time against UPI. She was really good off the bench for Leah Brown. She had 39 minutes, 18 points in that one, and a good and one start. And now we got a timeout early from the Terriers, but a good start for the Wolverines.
Oh, no, for sure. They're definitely coming out strong. They've had a couple good steals already, really completely controlling this game. Obviously, that 6-0 start. They have all the momentum right now. And obviously, that's what you want 1 minute and a half into the game.
Yeah, and it's crazy because Hillman's gotten two good looks. You got Leah Brown in transition, 2 turnovers early for the Wolverines, so that's something you want to look for if they can continue to do that. Just talking about last game against IUPI, Naz Hillman had 30 and 15. She is the stud. That is why Michigan is ranked number 10 by ESPN in the country. You also got Leah Brown, who we've mentioned. No Amy Dilk today, but you also got players that will step up instead of Amy Dilk. It's going to be about Daniel Rausch. Can she step up? Maddie Nolan. These girls, they only had 2 points against IUPI. These, as we get into the season, we don't know what Amy Dilk's status is. They need players to step up for the Wolverines if they want to continue to do some good things and continue to stay in the top 25.
For sure. Obviously, looking to have really big impact this season. We're coming out of nope, I thought we were coming out of timeout.
And we are just ready here in this media timeout. We've also got a bunch of other broadcasts coming in. We had volleyball last night. We have another volleyball matchup tonight versus Rutgers. That will be streamed, of course, on WCBN YouTube page. We also got Michigan Penn State football, currently probably just out of halftime right now as Michigan leads 7-6 in that one. So with 8:25 to go, Michigan 1-0. St Francis came in 0-1. They lost to Manhattan big. And they were 1-6 in their conference last year. So you want to see what can St. Francis do to improve. That's going to be the question. And it's going to be all about their point guard and Navina Dimitrievich. Can they get out and run? That will be the key for them.
Went 4-10 total. Their leading scorer was number 31, Allie Lassen, in her 5th year this year, with a total of 196 points in those 14 games.
Yeah, she can work it down low, and it's going to be interesting to see how they try to create a game plan after those 2 early buckets from Naz Hillman, because you got to defend her if you want to beat the Wolverines. Here's Brown at the free throw line. No good. And a rebound out to the Terriers, and here we go. Posset will bring it up. Posset driving, trying to go by Leah Brown, and good move from Amy Posset for the first bucket for the Terriers. Brown up top, handled. Here's Maddie Nolan. Swings it across. Here's Brown again. 15 on the shot clock. Back to Hillman up top. Here's an open look for 3. No. And then put back up. And that was Kaiser, who had the 3 and then got her own rebound and then put that back up. And now we got another whistle. As Brown will check out. She goes straight on that far side. Maybe a little banged up.
Yeah, a bit of confusion here.
So here come the Terriers, down 8-2 early. Posset trapped. Swings it inside. Lassen trying to create space, and then she traveled. Good defense from Naz Hillman inside. And Kaiser.
Yeah, if St. Francis wants to have a chance in this game, they're going to have to look to getting Lassen the ball much better than that.
So here's Kaiser up top. Swings it across. Here comes the drive and the finish. That was Danielle Roush, and we talked about her stepping up with no Amy Pilk, and that's a good start for her, getting to the rim.
She's absolutely abusing St. Francis on that right side.
So here is Fisher, swings it out to Lassen. Lassen, oh, stolen away. Great play by Roush, and she'll push it the other way. Roush looking, calming everything down, swings it across. Here's Kaiser. Back to Roush. She lost it and then played away, and here come the Terriers the other way. Fisher swinging it. Dimitrevsky. Dimitrevich slows things down with 6:30 to go here in this first quarter. Here's the drive by Posset. Good pass. Lassen for 2, and that goes. 6-point game early. Swings it across. Here's the 3. It's good. Couldn't see it from our far side, but that was Michelle Sitter coming in. She did not play in that IUPI matchup. She comes in, hits a 3. Good start for her. Here's the jumper. No, that was Kaleo Edwards. Pushing it is the Wolverines. Nolan trying to look for Hillman, swings it across. Roush. Now here's Sitter again, kicks it out. Here's a 3. Roush steps into it. She's got it for 3. Danielle Roush makes it 12-4, 15-4 Wolverines.
She's taking control of this game really early on here.
Really good start for her. The senior expected to step up. Here's the shot from Dimitrevich. Doesn't go. Rebound out for the Wolverines. That was Roush again. Here's Sitter trying to push. Sitter, good take to the rim. Oh, that's a tough finish.
St. Francis' defense really does nothing to do about that inside game at this point.
Swinging it across. For the Wolverines. Here's Lassen inside. Spin move, no. Good D from Kaiser, and she'll push it the other way. Kaiser swings it across to Roush. Roush back up top. Here's another 3 from Sitter. No. Rebound right there for the taking for Maddie Nolan. What a start for the Wolverines, up 17-4.
No, there's this timeout now here just because once they get the ball down low by the post, there is nothing that St. Francis can do. They cannot stop the Wolverines.
No, they cannot. And talking about Danielle Roush, she only started 5 times last season. She only averaged 2 points, 2 rebounds, and about 1 assist in about 16 minutes. She did play in all the tournament games before their loss on the Sweet 16. Of course, that banner was raised today, earlier in this broadcast. But Roush really, from Syracuse, New York, how does she step up is very interesting in this year, in her senior year, and it looks like she's been good so far.
No, for sure. She's definitely taking advantage of having this opportunity, making the most of it, and it's playing out phenomenally for her. They have no solution to her ball handling, and when she gets down low and puts one up, it's almost guaranteed 2 points.
And that provides just another dimension to this offense. With Naz Hillman down low, you can have those shot makers like Daniel Roush up top. That can really add another dimension for the Wolverines. So here come the Terriers, and they almost throw it out of bounds. Saved by Fisher, but then right to Maddie Nolan. Nolan kicks it. Here's Roush. Always looking to attack. Swings it across to Kaiser. Here is Sitter. She'll take it inside. Sitter's jumper. No. Rebound back for the Terriers. That was Horvath, who is now in for the Terriers. Horvath swings it across. Here's Fisher. Fisher to Lassen. Lassen trying to make a move. This time, no. Good D from Kaiser in the interior. She's been money all game long. Here's Sitter looking for Hillman. Here's her third touch. Inside for 2. It feels like she can get anything she wants.
No, Michigan's dominating that inside game, and it should be a great game for Hillman if this keeps up with St. Francis' defense.
And after that overtime game, and really a tough first game, this is a nice refresher if Michigan can continue this torrid start, as they're up 21-4, and they'll get the basketball after a turnover by the Terriers. 3:30 to go in this first. Checking in some new minutes. Here is the freshman phenom, Layla Filia from Cincinnati, Ohio. She was very good in that first game as well. They want to see some production out of these guards, including Filia. Here's Sitter. And that's going to be a legal screen called on Stuck. Elise Stuck, she is a sophomore out of Michigan. She just moved a little bit on that screen. Here comes back the other way for the Terriers. Dimitrevich over to Passett. Passett looking to drive, splits a couple of defenders. Passett inside, no, rebound, fought for and won by Maddie Nolan. Now taken away by the Terriers, then blocked. Nope, that's going to be a foul. Good job by Horvath trying to fight for that rebound. She got it back, and then Maddie Nolan fouled her, so now Horvath will head to the line for 2.
Michigan just showing a really aggressive game here, both on the offensive side and the defensive side, with some really impressive steals so far and just really great defensive playmaking.
Horvath at the line for 2. And that first one goes. Wanted to talk a little bit about Frezina Horvath. She was named NEC Rookie of the Year. She averages about 13 a game last year. She's a very good force for this team, and she comes off the bench.
Yeah, she was their second leading scorer last season. Obviously looking to get her in the game pretty quickly here, as they need it.
Stuck swings it across. Sitter, and deflected by Dimitrevich, and that will stay with the Wolverines with about 17 on the shot clock. Checking in for the Wolverines, another freshman phenom, Ari Wiggins. And Wiggins and Filia, we knew they would get minutes today, after an early start from the Wolverines. Here's a look inside as Wiggins tries to force it, stolen away by the Terriers. Dimitrevich looking to run. Wiggins on her. Good trap, good hedge by Hillman. And then that one is stolen away. Here comes Maddie Nolan. Nolan slows it down. Looking inside, Hillman one-on-one. That's too easy for the Wolverines.
Once again, Brooklyn's defense using kind of a loose zone. They just have no answers when it comes to down by the post.
If they're going to leave Hillman one-on-one inside, that's going to be too easy for Naz Hillman. Here's a 3 from Horvath. That doesn't go. Rebound out for the Wolverines. That was Stuck. Here's the push inside. That's going to be an offensive foul. Filia trying to force a little bit on this right baseline. So we'll go back to the Terriers.
Going to be some more substitutions for the Terriers.
Yeah, Horvath checks out. In is Edwards once again.
So bringing Lassen back in.
So here comes Passett. Passett trapped again. Naz Hillman loves to do that hedge. Passett going right to the rim. Good D from Ari Wiggins. She strips it, and it will stay with the Terriers. 19 on the shot clock, 1:49 to go in this first quarter. Passett will inbound. Trying to look inside. Lassen fighting for it, and that's going to be a jump. Good awareness from Stuck.
She was immediately trapped there. She had no options. The Michigan defenders just kind of closing in on her.
And it feels like the interior defense has done a really good job early because the Terriers want to get Amy Lassen the basketball. Hasn't worked so far. And here she is again. Hillman on her. Lassen inside. No good. Rebound to Hillman. Hillman will look to push. Kicks it out to Wiggins. Wiggins cutting inside. Wiggins layup. No. Rebound. Fought for and then saved by Filia. Filia looks inside. Here's Naz Hillman. Swings it out. Wiggins. 3. No. Front rim. No. And a rebound to Passett. She looks to push. She's got Fisher down low, and then she kicks it back out to Passett, and they'll slow things down. Passett, stolen away. Good hands from Stuck. Here's Wiggins. Looking to Nolan. Nolan calming things down, trying to find Naz Hillman.
Hillman with 8 points already in today's game.
Really good start for her, and that's going to be an offensive foul against the Wolverines. And that will go back to the Terriers.
Seems like they're calling a lot of those today.
Yeah, Hillman is now out. So Kaiser will check back in. Here's Passett. Good hedge by Kaiser. They continue to do that defensively. Here's the drive. Fisher kicks it out, and that's going to be a foul called against Roush.
St. Francis needs to get some more offense going down here. Once they try and push the ball inside, they just kind of get swarmed by those Michigan defenders and fall apart, throw it away. Michigan already has 4 steals in this game, and we're not even out of the first quarter.
Yeah, and I think for the Terriers, you got to stop looking inside. Lassen's not winning down low. I think you got to look outside to your perimeter shooters, maybe get Amy Fisher a couple looks. She's their best shooter as she makes her first 3 throw. Her second one is no good, and a rebound to Stuck. Here is Roush. She'll take it up for the Wolverines. Swinging it to Filia. Inside look to Kaiser. Swings it back out. Here's Stuck. Kicks it out to Filia. She gets the screen. Filia, good defense from the Terriers this possession. Roush swings it. Here's the jumper. No. And put a good rebound. Passett inside. Good job by the Wolverines on the offensive rebound. That was Kaiser. The shot was from Jordan Hobbs, the other freshman. Those 3, Hobbs, Filia, and Wiggins, are the 3 freshmen that are going to get playing time, and they've already seen it in this first quarter.
The Terriers playing a little bit tighter defense. It's working out for them, much better than the earlier was, but still don't know if it's going to be enough to stop this offense.
First one is good from Kaiser. The 6'3" senior from Noblesville, Indiana, makes the second. So Michigan 25-7 lead here with 15 seconds to go in the first. Will the Terriers hold for 1? Oh, that's going to be stolen away. Passett lost it. Here comes Hobbs the other way. Hobbs looking outside, trying to find here with 2. Hobbs swings it across. The jumper, no, from Kaiser, and that will end the first quarter. Michigan leads 25-7 early. Really good start all around. And we'll pass it over here to my partner, Dan Levine, for the second quarter. Yeah. Switch. Want to switch or no? I could just sit here.
So after 1 quarter, the Wolverines lead the St. Francis Terriers by a score of 25-7. We fully expect this thing to be a blowout down the stretch, and for that reason, we also expect much of both of these teams to see the floor tonight. I would not be surprised if much of the entire roster, on at least for the Wolverines, sees the floor, as they're a very deep team with lots of talent all the way up and down. And it would not be a surprise, given that they lead by 18 points after the first quarter, that much of this team will see the floor, and the same goes for St. Francis. Through the first quarter, we've already seen a couple players on the Wolverines that did not get some playing time in the first matchup against IUPUI. They've already seen the floor. That's Michelle Sedor. She didn't see the floor at all in the first game against IUPUI. But already today, she's played some big minutes and scored some big baskets early on for the Wolverines. Elise Stuck, another player who did not see the floor against IUPUI. But she's in there early on tonight. And for the Terriers, they're going to have to figure out a way to get some points on the board, and other ways than just getting fouled inside. Most of their points have come from the free throw line. And not a single player has more than 2 points. So it's going to be interesting to see if their coach has made some adjustments. Perhaps try to get more looks by Alyssa Fisher, their three-point specialist, number 3. As this one is resumed, the ball in Danielle Rausch's hands, who is replacing Amy Dilk in that point guard spot, and that's Layla Filia with a nice take to the basket to get on the board for the first time. The star freshman showing that she can be relied on by Coach Kim Barnes-Arico early on this season for the Wolverines, as that's Dimitrevich controlling the point for the Terriers down the other way. She tries to penetrate, finds her teammate for an elbow jumper. That one's no good. Elise Stuck with the rebound, hits the outlet pass to Danielle Rausch, looking to find Emily Kaiser on the inside, can't find her, swings it to Elise Stuck. To the other star freshman, Jordan Hobbs. And that's a nice floater from Jordan Hobbs on a nice penetration. A little push shot for the bucket to get 2 of the freshmen for the Wolverines on the board early on.
Terriers are really trying to find Lassen inside. She was their leading scorer last season, but it hasn't really been working out for them so well. They might want to consider transitioning to more of a shooting game here. I'd say
and there's the first three-pointer of the game for the Terriers. A badly needed basket by Frzina Horvath out of Hungary, one of their 2 players from Hungary, to get the Terriers into double digits. Cross-court pass to Filia with a nice take, and that'll be a blocking foul.
In that first quarter, the Terriers had 9 turnovers. So that's something that you really want to not have happen again.
So that's a kick ball on the defense for the Terriers. And they'll take it down the other way. That's Dimitrevich. And you're right, Kendall. Lassen is that star post player for the Terriers, but they're now relying on their three-point shot a little bit more, understanding that they're not going to get a lot of looks inside against the likes of Naz Hillman and Emily Kaiser. So they take another three-pointer there and they hit, showing a little bit more success on offense for them. So the Wolverines will take a quick timeout to talk things over and make a couple adjustments of their own to try and prevent that three-point shot, knowing that they can control the paint with their size and strength inside. The Terriers unable to match that size and strength.
No, the defense by the post by the Wolverines shown clearly the Terriers just cannot get that ball into Lassen on the inside. That's not an effective opportunity for them to score. But now that they're opening it up for the three, as we saw one from Horvath, who was their second leading scorer last season, Dimitrievich, that's going to be a much more viable option for them, as we've seen already 2 3-pointers pretty quickly, one right after the other. Now they're opening up that offense. This game should be a little bit closer with that, but they still have the problem of, on their own defense, they can't stop the down low shot.
That's right, and going into a game like this, you'd think to feed Lassen in the post. As a fifth-year senior, she was, last season she was all NEC second team, so she's one of the best players in her entire conference. She was the leading scorer and rebound last season for this team. And for them, this is kind of like their Super Bowl. I mean, they don't face teams like Michigan very often. They're in a much lower level of Division I basketball where they play against teams that are more on their level. So this is one of the biggest games of their season early on here. And when you have a center that is your star piece, like Allie Lassen, you have to make an adjustment because she's going against the likes of a Big Ten Player of the Year, Naz Hillman, who's the star player at that same position for the Wolverines. And the Wolverines also have Emily Kaiser, Elise Stuck, and sophomore star Whitney Solom has checked into the game, looking to capitalize on some minutes and an opportunity here with a big lead. And that's another player that's going to be tough for the Terriers to feed Allie Lassen to in the post. So the last couple times down, we've seen Dimitrievich hit a three. We've seen Alyssa Fisher hit a three. We'll see if they can continue to find more looks from the outside, and we'll see if the Wolverines can maybe tighten up their defense on the perimeter and force the Terriers to find Lassen down low, where they know they'll be leading in size. And we resume play here with Felia on the wing. Whitney Solom into the game for the first time. She finds Danielle Roush on the wing, controlling the point. To number 3, Maddie Nolan will find Naz Hillman at the high post. Cross-court pass to Felia. Roush finds Naz Hillman in the post. Fights through the defense. And that's that strength we're talking about. She just bullies her way in between a double team.
That's what we're talking about with the Terriers have no answer to that. She went through 3 people to get that shot and put those 2 points up. They just aren't stopping her.
That's right. They can put all 5 players on her if they want. It's probably not going to do much because Naz Hillman is just built like that. And she pushes the floor. She can handle it too. A nice pass from her to the freshman Felia. A nice senior to freshman connection there after Hillman pushing the ball up the court. Something you don't see very often. So the Terriers now trail by 20 points. And they'll find a deep 3 that falls way short. Doesn't even hit the rim. That'll fall out of bounds. It'll be Wolverines' ball, and the Terriers will make a substitution and bring in guard Kalia Edwards out of London, England.
You're watching them make adjustments in real time for the Wolverines. Obviously, they open up that 3-point shot. Now they're opening up that defense, sending more people out towards the 3-point line, and then there's just so much defense on her. That shot fell way short.
So right away out of that timeout, we're seeing the Wolverines make that adjustment, forcing them to take that shot from way beyond the arc and resulting in an air ball. Solid will find Felia on the wing. She'll have to get a shot up, and she gets a nice shot up. It doesn't go. Rebounded by the Terriers. Given to the junior guard, Isabella Passette, to control the ball. She'll find her teammate for a 3. That falls short. Rebounded by the freshman Felia. Will find her teammate Roush on the wing. They'll move the ball around. Naz Hillman looking for Whitney inside. And so the Wolverines will make a substitution. That's freshman guard in for freshman guard. Ari Wiggins will check in.
The Terriers were playing a lot looser defense in that first quarter, and it was not working. Now they're definitely playing everyone tighter, and well, it isn't so much stopping the Wolverines, it's definitely slowing them down a little bit compared to that first quarter.
And slowing them down is key because it forces them to use the shot clock and to force up tougher shots. Unfortunately, the Wolverines are capable of hitting tougher shots as we see Maddie Nolan hit a tough 3, contested 3 from the corner. And she's the best 3-point shooting player on this Wolverines team, so if they can find her for those looks, they're happy to see her take them. And the Wolverines force up a tough shot on the left side. Naz Hillman trying to force up the ball up the court again. That time she can't get to half court before the Terriers take it away and then turn the ball over once again, giving the ball back to the Wolverines.
Turnovers have been a problem for the Terriers here.
That's
with
right.
13 already in this game.
That is way too many turnovers to only be halfway through the second quarter and to have that many turnovers. They're going to have to figure that out and value the basketball. It's a tough fadeaway jumper, mid-range for Ari Wiggins, rebounded by Hillman. She's fouled on the way back up, and she puts it in, so that'll be an and-one opportunity for Naz Hillman, who is the leading scorer right now for the Wolverines, as she usually is.
12 points. This is the Naz Hillman show. This game is perfect for her with that really kind of weak interior defense, and she's taking full advantage of it.
That's right. It is a perfect game for Naz Hillman, kind of as a tune-up for her. She's able to excel in the ways that she usually is able to against a smaller and weaker team. And hopefully a dominant performance against the likes of St. Francis will help her in future games in the Big Ten, where she'll be going up against some bigger size and some bigger talent. And there she is on the defensive side, forcing up a tough shot by the Terriers. It'll be Maddie Nolan pushing the ball down the court, finding Solemn for a nice swing pass to Wiggins, who will drive it into the paint, put it up short, and there's Hillman once again for the offensive rebound and the putback for her 15th points of the night.
The Terriers can call as many timeouts, and I'm sure that's what they're going to talk about when they get into that halftime, but Naz Hillman is just on a roll, and they don't have someone who can stop her, and as we've already proven, they don't have three people who can stop her.
That's a beautiful block on the defensive end for sophomore Whitney Solemn, checking in for the first time this season. Ari Wiggins will take it to the rack and find Hillman. He'll kick it out to Roush, who'll reset and find Wiggins. Wiggins will give it to Solemn in the post. Solemn unable to control that space and give Wiggins a clear hand to feed that ball into in the post, resulting in a jump ball. And junior Michelle Sedor will check into the game for Danielle Roush. So that jump ball awarded to the Wolverines. The next one will go to the Terriers.
We're going to take out, Terriers going to be taking out Posset.
Michigan opting to keep much of that starting group in there. Despite leading 41-13, Ari Wiggins forces up a tough three, but it's rebounded by Whitney, who puts up a tough fadeaway hook shot, rebounded by the Terriers. They'll find Kalia Edwards for three. That's no good. And rebounded, an impressive, juicy rebound by Jayla Lee. And she'll be fouled on the perimeter. Not a foul you want to see by Naz Hillman on the perimeter, where they weren't really a threat to score from there. You'd like to see her just back off and let them reset it after getting that rebound.
That was an impressive defensive play by Lee there.
It's number 3, Alyssa Fisher. She usually likes to shoot it, but Maddie Nolan is pressing up on her knowing that. And that's a great defensive stop by Naz Hillman on the drive. Just too overpowering for them to even get into the paint and find a good look. She'll find Sedor, who will find her teammate in the corner. Nolan getting the ball inside to Solemn with a nice running hook shot. That's a nice running hook shot from number 25, Whitney Solemn, getting her first basket of the game.
Wolverines now have a 30-point lead here.
The Terriers, who were not good last year in a much weaker conference, pretty much expecting to get whooped tonight, but they find number 3, Alyssa Fisher, for 3 there, and that's what she does. And the Wolverines will send the ball back down the other way to Naz Hillman, who takes a pretty brutal fall there, but she seems to be okay, which is a good sign. That'll be a foul on the Terriers, so the Wolverines will take it out on the baseline. A bunch of subs coming in here. Danielle Roush for the Wolverines, as well as 2 freshman guards and wings, Jordan Hobbs and Layla Filia.
And sophomore Cameron Williams will also come in for Whitney Solemn. Felia open for the mid-range jumper, and that shot is good. So
those are the types of shots that opens
freshman.
up when you have Naz Hillman and you need to have 3 defenders on her at all times. You have those mid-range shots available.
That's right. With Naz Hillman in there, she's such a huge presence in the post, especially on those inbounds plays on the baseline, that it makes her teammates much more wide open, like we saw with Layla Felia getting that smooth mid-range jumper right off the inbounds. The Wolverines are also a great screening team. They're great at setting screens for each other and not just going through the motions, but actually setting quality screens, forcing the defenders to run into them, creating space for their teammates. And Nilman has also been working on that three-point shot in the offseason, so even though she's been dominant on the inside against a smaller team, she is capable of shooting as she does right here. And that shot is no good. But a nice rebound by the sophomore Cameron Williams, who just checked into the game, and a nice putback. Something we just saw in a similar way from the other sophomore big man, Whitney Solemn. Terriers will jack up a three-point shot early in the shot clock, rebounded by freshman Jordan Hobbs, who pushed the ball up the court. Take it all the way to the rack, but finds her teammate in the corner. Danielle Roush will reset up top. Find Cameron Williams in the post, but she can't gather that entry pass. That'll be an unforced error, a turnover for the Wolverines. So Passette will control the ball, and she throws it right into the hands of Danielle Roush. A nice steal. She'll dive on the ground for it kind of awkwardly before Terrier is on there forcing a jump ball. And with the last jump ball going to the Wolverines, this one will stay with the Terriers. As the star 5'3" point guard, Navina Dimitrevich, will check back into the game for the Terriers. And you can see the Terriers really only looking for that three-point shot, not even having anybody down low, kind of running a five-out offense.
Passing it in to last and almost by instinct, and then remembering that that's not an option for them here.
Right, and at this point, they're not even looking for those looks. And you have to imagine that is the exact reason why Coach Rico is keeping Naz Hillman in here despite it being a blowout. It's less than a minute to go in the first half. Wolverines pushing the ball down the court fast, finds Felia for another open mid-range. That one doesn't go. Dimitrevich pushing the ball for the Terriers. She'll find her teammate on the wing for a mid-range jumper. That one's off the back iron.
Obviously keeping Hillman in there, but the Wolverines have used 12 different players already in this game, really giving the bench the opportunity to get some minutes.
12 players, and I expect that number to rise as we head into the second half shortly. But for now, Danielle Roush will slow it down, try and get one last look for the Wolverines. Jordan Hobbs with a nice take and uses her left hand, a very pretty finish for Jordan Hobbs. And the Terriers, with about 5 seconds left, will push the ball down the court, trying to get one last look before the half. And that's Passette with a drive. She forces up a tough floater. That doesn't go. Jordan Hobbs brings the ball down. So we reach halftime, and the Wolverines lead by a score of 49-16. This game is essentially over, but a great tune-up game for opportunity for both teams. As we'll take a break, and both teams will regroup for a second. The Terriers in desperate need for some adjustments.
welcome back to Crisler Center. Right now, Michigan up 49-16 at a halftime. Good start all around. Naz Hillman with 15 points to lead the way. Philia has 6, Hobbs was 4, Roush has 5. They're really spreading it out with all the players. Kaiser also has 6. So, Dan, what are your thoughts on that first half?
Well, it was an encouraging half if you're a Wolverines fan. I like the fact that Coach KBA is going to her freshmen early on, putting a lot of faith and responsibility in her freshmen. I'm talking about Ari Wiggins, Layla Philia, and Jordan Hobbs, all coming up with some big baskets and opportunities there. But the main storyline is Naz Hillman, who's the star, who has 15 points and 5 rebounds. In the first game against IUPUI, she had 30 points and 15 rebounds. I don't know if she'll have the opportunity to amass that kind of stat line. Just because of the nature of this blowout, she probably won't see many minutes in the second half, as Coach KBA will like to get some of the other players who don't usually get big minutes some opportunities in this blowout. So I'm looking forward to seeing players like Whitney Solom, Cameron Williams, Michelle Sedor, and those 3 freshmen that I just talked about. I'm looking forward to seeing them get some big minutes here in the second half in a game that's already over. And then for the Terriers, you'd like to see them just get some better looks at the basket and not turn the ball over as much. They have a great 3-point shooter in Alyssa Fisher, who's has 4 points tonight and has only shot 2 3-point field goals. They need to put the ball in her hands more, and I'd like to see their point guard Dimitrevich be more aggressive and attack the basket more.
Yeah, so a good start for the Wolverines, up 49-16. I think for this second half, I think we both agree, Dan, it's going to be about those secondary players and getting some meaningful minutes in a regular season game. How do they step up? And here is out of bounds. Here we go. Sidor will take it up for the Wolverines. Swings it over across, back to Sidor on the other side.
So
Roush.
right away in the second half, KBA going to the secondary unit partially with Sedor starting the second half after a positive showing in that first half.
And Naz Hillman is still in, and she gets the assist there to Emily Kaiser for 2. Here comes Dimitrevich the other way. Back to Fisher. Across to Posset. Posset back up top. Swinging around. A little dribble handoff. Edwards swings it back out. Dimitrevich to the rim, baseline, kicks it out. There's a 3 from Fisher, no. And a rebound to Kaiser.
And even though that shot did not go in, that's the kind of look the Terriers are pleased to get, an open look from the player they want to be shooting the ball. And it didn't go in, but that's a great look and a positive sign for St. Francis.
Getting it to your best 3-point shooter, certainly a key for the Terriers in this second half. Here's Maddie Nolan for 3 on that baseline. Got it. Maddie Nolan. Back the other way come the Terriers. Here's a 3 from Dimitrevich, way off. Here comes Sidor, she'll push. Sidor, oh, good defense from Posset. Sidor spins, gets it over to Nolan. Nolan kicks it out. Here's a 3, Kaiser, no. Rebound tipped up, and won by the Terriers. Here comes Posset, inside, Dimitrevich, trying to turn the corner, and that's gonna be a whistle, and I think that's gonna be a foul on the floor by Sidor.
And that's what I like to see from Dimitrevich, the aggression, taking it to the basket right there. On the possession before this, she forced up a tough 3-point shot early on in the shot clock. She had time to find a better look. That time she attacked the glass, and now they're going to take their time here with 20 seconds to find a good shot.
They swing it around. Here is a 3 from Posset. No, tipped up and won by the Wolverines. Here's Kaiser the other way. Kaiser looks to push. Feeds Hillman inside for 2. She's got it.
And you see the strength of Naz Hillman. That number 5 for the Terriers, Kalia Edwards, has absolutely no ability to match up with.
So good inside, even though she's doubled. Naz Hillman can do it all for these Wolverines. Here's Posset, good hedge by Hillman. That's what they do so well. Every time they set a screen, you can see the hedge. Really good job from the Wolverines.
And that hedge is so important to get both feet and be square towards the player to get in a good position. Otherwise, that's a foul. But right there, that was just great defense by Naz to step up around the screen, square up against the defender, or against the player with the ball and force her to lose that ball. They get it back, but that was great defense from Naz Hillman.
They swing it around. Passette on the right side. 5 to shoot. Here's a 3. No, that's way off from Fisher. Now it feels like they're forcing a little bit.
Well, when you're down by 40 points, I can understand the desire to force up some shots. You're probably pretty anxious about the scoreboard.
And it's interesting to see Naz Hillman and these starters stay in the game as Kaiser's jumper doesn't go.
And I don't expect that to last much longer with a
here-
40-point lead.
So here's Dimitrevich. Pass it back to Dimitrevich. Looks for Fisher, trying to post up. Was Horvath, then she kicks it back out to Dimitrevich. Dimitrevich swings it around. Passette trying to turn the corner. That doesn't work. Trying to handle the basketball. Gets it to
They're gonna
Horvath.
try getting to
Horvath
the
trying to
post.
post up, and she's got it.
And that must have been the very first time this entire game that a post-up for the Terriers was successful with Naz Hillman defending.
Here is a 3. Sidor, no, and a rebound. Fought for, but good job by Kaiser keeping things alive. Swings it out. Maddie Nolan for 3. No. Rebound, trying to fight for it is Kaiser. Then Dimitrevich says, let's go.
And
She's-
Emily Kaiser has been phenomenal on the glass tonight.
Yes. Yes, she has. And Fisher's jumper, no. Rebound up. Horvath, got it.
I jinxed her there. She should have had that rebound, and it was a good opportunity for the Terriers to capitalize and get that putback.
Tough finish from Horvath. She's got the last 4 for the Terriers to cut the lead to 36. Michigan swings it around, trying to find Hillman. She's doubled. Good pass. Good passing from the Wolverines. Nolan fights for it and gets it to go.
A beautiful pass from Emily Kaiser there. She's rebounding it well, as we just said, and she finds a beautiful lane there. She had an open shot from the elbow there. She decided to pass it. One more pass from Naz Hillman over to Maddie Nolan, who normally is sitting on the perimeter waiting for her shot. That time a nice cut to the basket from Nolan to receive that pass from Kaiser and get an uncontested layup.
Yeah, and it's been interesting to see how the Terriers have adjusted. They have adjusted with really doubling Hillman inside, which has been a nice adjustment for the Terriers, and that kind of forces Hillman to really get it out and find the secondary players, and that's something that she's going to see down the line in Big Ten play.
Well, it's a nice adjustment by the Terriers. It's also a pretty obvious one. Coming into this game, you know who the star player is, and that's Naz Hillman. Everybody knows that. She won Big Ten Player of the Year last year as a junior. She's back for her senior season. She's worked on her game. She's expanded her game. She's even stronger and quicker and more skilled with the ball. So the Terriers know that's the one player they got to keep an eye out for, and it was very evident in that first half. So, you know, perhaps a double team on Naz Hillman is not even enough. Sometimes you need to bring 3 players over, and even then that might not be enough because Naz Hillman is just so smart with the basketball. And what's great about Naz is even though she's the star, she doesn't always look to score when she gets the ball in the post. Sometimes she looks to swing the ball, throw a nice cross-court pass to the other wing, find her open teammate. She knows that the defense is collapsing on her every time she touches the ball. So great awareness from Naz to find nice passes. We've seen a few assists from her early on in the second half, and it's resulted in some uncontested layups for some of her smaller players, smaller teammates, such as Maddie Nolan getting that uncontested layup, and Emily Kaiser just absolutely destroying the boards here, leading her team in rebounds. Usually it's Naz Hillman who leads her team in rebounds. Tonight it's Emily Kaiser, who's been super aggressive on the glass and also finding some nice feeds to her teammates in the post.
Yeah, and it's really been a product. Yeah, Naz Hillman on the day. She has 2 assists, and I think everyone's passing it around. Nolan has 2 assists, Roush has 2 assists, and Sidor has 1. So it's really, they're moving the basketball really well. Yes, they've tried to find Hillman with some great looks, but they're also trying to find some other players, and I'm curious to see when this second unit comes on, as it looks like some of them are.
Yep.
Veracio has checked in for the Wolverines down low. She'll pair with Hillman. You also got Sidor, Roush, and Nolan for the Wolverines.
Yep, Isabel Veracio checking into the game for the first time. Has not really gotten many minutes this season at all. And they're going to pair her with Naz Hillman, who obviously has had a ton of minutes, so it's going to be interesting to see how Isabel and her chemistry is with Naz Hillman.
So here is Passette looking to drive, blocked away. Veracio makes her presence known early.
Veracia's got a big, bulky frame, something that plays in the favor of the Wolverines with such a small Terriers team. As you saw on the defensive end, she is great at going up and blocking shots. And here she has the ball at the high post. She's going to turn and shoot, no hesitation. And I like to see that early on for Veracio.
Yeah, she is aggressive early. I'm trying to see what she will be as Veracio tries to hedge that screen to flex the basketball, but they'll keep it. Here's Dimitrevich up top. She's looking to drive. Good defense from Nolan. Dimitrevich gets in the lane, can't get the layup to go. Held by Nolan, back the other way. Under 5 to go in this third quarter. Michigan up big. Here's Hillman inside, gets it to go, and the foul.
There's that patented drop step from Naz Hillman. She's done that a million times, and she'll do it a million more times, and there's not much you can do as a defender if you're smaller and weaker. She just catches that ball on the block. One hard pound dribble to her dominant right hand over the left shoulder. Sensing where her defender is, she felt the defender on her right shoulder and decided to drop step to her left shoulder for that easy layup. And by the time she recovered, she hacked her arm and forced a foul. Now the Wolverines lead by 40, 60-20.
That's something where Wolverines probably won't be there a lot this year, which is nice to see, up 40, 60-20. And looking at the Terriers going forward, how do they really try to get back into this game in any sort of way?
Well, there's no hope in getting back into this game. This game is over. But if they want to continue to work on their game and take advantage of this opportunity, going against the likes of a Michigan Wolverines team, such a dominant Big Ten team, they're not going to face any teams like this in the remainder of the season. The remainder of the season, they're going to be playing against teams in their conference. That's the NEC. So that'll be much more on their level. So just because this game is over doesn't mean it's a lost cause and a lost opportunity. They still have a lot of time left here to work on their game. Forget about the scoreboard. They can work on things against a really talented Michigan team that'll play to their favor as they move forward to the season. This is the second game of the season. There's a lot of basketball left to be played here. So if you're on the St. Francis Terriers, you need to hold your head high, understand that you weren't going to win this game. That just wasn't going to happen. But it's a great opportunity to work on finding good looks. Stop turning the ball over against a really talented defensive team. Just continue to push the ball in transition, box them out, get rebounds. Be patient on the offensive end. You don't need to be shooting the ball with over 15 seconds left in the shot clock. You can wait for your shot, find an uncontested look, keep moving the ball around, and then tighten up on defense. Force the Wolverines to work deep into their shot clock as well, force up tougher shots. So they can work on those types of things in the remainder of this game, and if they can be successful, that'll be a positive sign for them moving forward against lesser competition that they'll actually have a better chance at beating in the future.
So now we're waiting for Naz Hillman. She'll shoot one after her and one. The free throw is no good, and here comes the Terriers the other way. Dimitrevich gets it over to her post player. That was Horvath, and that one will go out of bounds.
And, you know, on the other hand, even though the Wolverines have completely sealed this game up, they have an opportunity to work on some fundamentals and some small detail things to work on here that will also benefit them against tougher competition in the upcoming season.
So Dimitrovich's jumper does not go. Horvath gets the rebound, kicks it back out to Dimitrevich, and now here's Passett. Passett lost it, and she gets it back, and now it's going to be a foul on the floor. Let's see what happened here. And it's going to go on Nolan. There's a block there, so with 4:19 remaining in this third quarter.
And that's a blocking foul on Nolan, but Nolan has been extremely good defensively, holding her ground, staying in the right position, not letting any of her players that she's been guarding get to the rack.
So here's Passett. Veracio hedges that screen. Here's the three from Horvath. It goes. So a good performance today. The bright spot for Zina Horvath has been terrific so far. She has 12 points.
And she has more than half of her team's points. So if you're the Terriers, you need to continue to feed her the ball. You're not doing much offensively. We're over halfway through this third quarter, and you're sitting with 23 points. might as well feed that one player who's been scoring for you.
Here is a three. Roush, and what great ball movement by the Wolverines. Getting that open look, that's something they want to work on. And as you just mentioned, Dan, that's something they get in this Terriers ball game.
Yeah, and that's a great sign for Danielle Roush. She's probably the second best shooter on this team. But with Amy Dilk out, she's forced to play that point guard role and not really having a lot of chances to pull up that three-point shot, which she's great at. She and Maddie Nolan are the two three-point specialists on this team, but with Amy Dilk out, once again, Danielle Roush forced to kind of be the ball handler.
So Jayla Lee took that to the rim for the Terriers, and let's see. I think that's going to go back to the Wolverines. So now checking in, Roush is out along with Hillman, Wiggins, and Stuck. Nolan is out as well. Nolan is still in with the bench right now. So it feels like the second unit now, and we get to see some freshmen play some big minutes.
And now with Naz Hillman out of the game, you have to wonder if the Terriers will switch up their game plan back to what they started with, which is maybe trying to feed the ball inside with Naz Hillman no longer in the post.
Aaron pass by Stuck leads to a layup for the Terriers. That was Kaleo Edwards. Here's Wiggins. Top of the key. 63-25 Michigan lead.
And you still have a large presence inside with Isabel Veracio, but she doesn't have the same quickness and athleticism that Hillman does, and they'll give her the ball here.
Good look. Veracio missed the layup, and here comes Passett the other way. Passett looks up, finds an open player, and that is a jumper that's good from Varga coming off the bench, her first minutes, and that's 1-for-1 start for her. Wiggins swings it across.
With the exception of Nolan in the game here, these are all substitutions for the Wolverines, some players who don't typically see a lot of minutes, with the exception of Layla Filia.
Good pass, Veracio, good pass. Trying to finish was Stuck, missed the layup, and then she's going to go for two as a Terrier got her on the way up.
That was a beautiful pass by Veracio. And you'd like to see your teammate Elise Stuck finish that one for her. That has potential to be a highlight reel play, but she's unable to get it to go. But she did get fouled, so she'll still have a chance to get her points from the line.
So now checking in for the Wolverines. Roush is back in. And also coming in, Jordan Hobbs for the Wolverines, and Kaiser as well. So kind of a mix with starters and bench players here in the third. First was good. Second is good as well from Stuck. And now Naz Hillman will enter once again for Stuck. Under 2 to go in this third quarter.
That surprises me. I thought with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter and a 40-point blowout that Hillman's minutes might be done, but Coach KBA not taking long to get her back in there.
Varga, good pass to Horvath for 2, and she's been a nice bright spot early. Varga involved on the scoring so far. Here's a 3 from Sidor. No, and a rebound fought for and won by the Terriers. They look to push. Passett slows things down, finds an open man. Varga 3, no.
And that is Kaiser's 10th rebound right there. And she's fouled. A great sign for Emily Kaiser to get into double-digit rebounding. Something you don't see very often, especially in the women's game. For a secondary big man who spends a lot of her time on the perimeter with Naz Hillman in the game with her, who kind of controls the interior. To get 10 rebounds, very impressive.
So here's Sidor, kicks it out, swinging it across. Hobbs tried to force it down low, and that's going to be a foul on St. Francis. And the other thing worth noting, rebounding department, I think we discussed this earlier, Kaiser 10 rebounds. So she's been on the glass. I know you mentioned it, Dan. She is all over the glass. And Hillman, she's got 3 assists as well.
Right, and we were talking about that. Hillman's presence of mind. She could score the ball every time she touches it in the post, but she has the presence of mind to find her teammates in the, on the elbow or in the wing or on the weak side. She can swing the ball because she knows that 2 or 3 players are coming over to defend her every time she touches the ball. Naz Hillman really is a do-it-all player. She's not just a dominant scorer.
Yes, she is. And here is Varga, 66-29, Michigan lead. Passat trying to drive it, then she is doubled. Kicks it across to Horvath. Varga looking to drive. Good D from the Wolverines and Roush. They try to trap that, and that works. Here's Hillman on the transition. Hillman going all the way, and it deflects off of her and will go to the Terriers. Good D in transition.
And I like the aggression from Naz there. Looks like she just lost the ball. She kind of forced it into traffic down in the paint, but I do like the aggression, getting that steal and taking it the other end, not letting the Terriers get back on defense.
So Varga will run point duties for now. She's been the spark here in this third to add some scoring. Swinging it across to Lee. Lee puts her head down, jumper, no. Rebound gets it back, and Varga will reset things. They could wait until the end of the third quarter. Under 15 to go. Varga trapped again. That defense is tough, and they're going to call a foul on Roush. Roush doesn't like it. That was close, but a good job. I love this aggressive defense from the Wolverines. They're getting in their faces, kind of making things uncomfortable for the Terriers and really getting them out of an offensive rhythm.
Yeah, and they're not thinking about the scoreboard either, despite having this huge lead. And I assume that in that previous timeout, that was one of the coach's messages. Hey, let's get some stops. Let's force them to turn the ball over. Let's get some fast break opportunities. So I like seeing the Wolverines really press up on this team far beyond the perimeter.
Varga, oh, good split from Passat. That was her best move of the night as she gets to the rim for two, and that will end the third quarter. A little bright spot for the Terriers as they trail 66-31 to the Wolverines. What a day for Naz Hillman. She's got 19. Kaiser with 7. Roush with 8. Everyone getting in on the scoring for the Wolverines. We'll head to the fourth for Matthew Levy. I'm going to send it over to Kendall Spencer right now.
now would be a great time for the Terriers to practice getting last in the ball down low, but she doesn't appear to be in the game as of right now.
Horvath has only played for 16 minutes compared to Passette's 28, so it's particularly impressive how dominant she's been in just a few minutes. And now with 16 points for Horvath, the Wolverines in the half-court set looking to get a good shot. Ari Wiggins will penetrate, finally stuck, who dishes it to Jordan Hobbs for three. Rebounded by Kaiser. And she gets the putback. So Kaiser now with 9 points and 12 rebounds. One more point and she'll be having a double-double, which would be a great sign for Emily Kaiser as she checks out of the game in favor of Cameron Williams. And they go to Horvath again. And Horvath finds her teammate ducking to the basket. That's a beautiful play to Bandoma, who we haven't seen much of tonight. The nice finish as the Wolverines push ahead and go to Seedor, who tries to attack, but that's a nice block by Bandoma.
You can tell the Terriers are really getting that inside look open and going back to that. That previous play was a really good example of that.
Bandoma getting her first minutes of the game here in the fourth quarter with a nice cut and basket, followed by a nice block on the defensive end, making her presence felt immediately. The Wolverines a little bit sloppy there, turn the ball over. And those are the things you like to clean up if you're the Wolverines. Yes, you have a big lead, but you're going to be going up against some tougher defensive teams in the near future. And there is Jayla Lee with her first points of the game. It's a nice hit from the outside. She's played for quite a bit tonight, but she just gets her first points of the game there. And that's Lee Stuck trying to penetrate, taken away from her. So the Terriers having some nice defense here, and they miss it there, and also missed the offensive rebound opportunity. It's Ari Wiggins, the speedster, taking it all the way, the full length of the court. And she'll be fouled, and she'll head to the line.
Yeah, just because Hillman's out doesn't mean that they aren't still going to kind of pound that inside option and just kind of drive through the Terriers defenders, and that was a pretty good example of that.
So following that turnover by Elise Stuck, Whitney Solomon will check into the game as Ari Wiggins gets her first point of the night, or of the afternoon, I should say. So now most of this Wolverines team is on the board.
They're using this game as a really good opportunity to see what different bench players can do in low stress situations.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
This game's all but over.
This game is certainly over from a win-loss perspective, but as you just alluded to, Kendall, this is a big minute opportunities for players on the court that don't normally see a lot of playing time, like number 25, Whitney Solomon, Number 44, Cameron Williams, and Cedar with the ball right now. These are players who don't typically get a lot of minutes, but they have an opportunity now against in a blowout to show their coach what they can do. And Felia with a nice fake. She gets an uncontested layup. And she is quick, and she has a nice pump fake, which 2 defenders bid on. And
That's
nice
11 points for her.
And she's into double figures. Now the Terriers looking inside to Bandoma, but number 2, Jayla Lee, is fouled on the inside by Ari Wiggins. And Wiggins is very quick, one of the faster players that you'll ever see. But she needs to be more attentive to her hands, defend with her body and not her hands, as she will be called for those fouls every time. So it'll be inbounded underneath by Varga for the Terriers. And she'll find Jayla Lee for a nice mid-range jumper to give the Terriers 40 points, now just trailing by 35. So the Terriers have actually been leading this second half. Despite falling down by 40 in the first half, they now trail by just 35. Perhaps a forced look by Layla Felia. I'm not sure why there was no foul call there, but Cameron Williams is in the right place at the right time and is able to clean that up for an uncontested layup.
Again, the Wolverines just taking complete advantage of that wide open inside look.
And Varga takes that one to the rack, but just loses it, slips out of her hand. That ball will go back to the Wolverines. So a very inexperienced team out there for the Wolverines right now. 3 freshmen and 2 sophomores on the court. We'll see if the future of this team can work on their chemistry. Felia left wide open in the corner. Might as well shoot that. An air ball collected by the Terriers. Will throw it ahead to Jayla Lee. With a nice stop on a dime, she'll kick it out.
That was really good defense by Williams there.
And you're right, that was great defense by the Wolverines to hustle back after the Terriers pushed that ball ahead. And a nice recovery there by the Wolverines to make the Terriers uncomfortable. And that was Passett with the travel to turn the ball over. And they'll take time.
And the Wolverines have the opportunity now to really slow this game down. Just, practice taking quality shots, getting their plays set up, setting up on defense. This really is just basically like, kind of like a scrimmage at this point. Just giving coach the opportunity to see what looks good and what doesn't, who's working in certain spots, while the Terriers are still trying to play basketball.
Right, I mean, at this point, down 37, it's probably a good idea to not overthink anything. Just work on your sets, be patient, move the ball slowly, except when having the opportunity to push the ball ahead and transition, taking advantage of fast break points. But for the most part, it will be smart for the Terriers here to take their time, just work on their sets, work on their actions, find good looks in the post, on the perimeter, and try to not force up any contested shots. For the Wolverines, on the other hand, they have had a bit too many turnovers here in the second half with the inexperience on the court. Right now, going to 3 of their 4 freshmen. Layla Felia playing 18 minutes tonight with Wiggins 12 minutes and Hobbs 9 minutes. So those 3 freshmen being relied on by Coach KBA.
Yeah, obviously the quality of the game has dipped just a little bit, but don't want to risk any injuries to the Wolverines.
That's expected. Don't want to risk any injuries. That's right, to your stars in a blowout in the second game of the season. Obviously, a ton of basketball left to go this year, and that's to be expected with the inexperience on the court. You're going to see some more forced up shots, maybe some missed reads on the offensive end, and some unnecessary foul calls. But that's why they're in there, to work on their game and for the coaches to see what they can do in a low-stress situation that'll help them decide who to go to in high-stress situations.
Coming out of the timeout now.
So both teams back on the court, ready to go to finish up the last 5 minutes of this one. It'll be that same 5 on the court for both teams. So Wolverines will work the ball around. It's Jordan Hobbs with the ball now. Will swing it to Filia. Back to Wiggins. Both Solom and Williams posting up there. And Wiggins will take it to the rack, force up a tough floater. Williams is there for the offensive rebound, poked out of bounds by the Terriers. So it'll stay with the Wolverines, out of bounds. And Hobbs bounces out to the corner. She'll catch it and penetrate. Kick back to the inbounder, Ari Wiggins. He finds Filia, and Whitney Solom having a tough time carving out some space in the post. But there she is off the, not sure if that was a pass or a missed shot by Wiggins, but Solom is there nonetheless for the uncontested layup.
Great
And
shot by her.
both Williams and Solom into the game for the Wolverines. They're towering over both of their defenders, so in those types of opportunities, those are easy finishes for them.
It's another turnover. Oh,
A couple of quick turnovers there. Wiggins got it and then quickly lost it, resulting in an uncontested layup for number 13 of the Terriers, Jada Mcmillan, who has not seen much action tonight, but she is on the board. The Wolverines will reset. Finding Solid inside again. That time McMillan is there for a nice block. There's Varga controlling the point. That's a shot from Jayla Lee, and that is no good. So Wiggins will get the rebound and use her speed to go all the way down the court into the paint. Forces a tough pass, and there in the lane is Horvath, who gets another bucket. That'll give her 18 points on the evening of her team's 44. Leading the way for the Terriers. And given the performance tonight, you'd expect to see more of her in future games for the Terriers as Jordan Hobbs, the freshman, left open on the wing for 3, and she connects.
that was
Giving
yeah,
her
that was a
7
really
points on the night.
really smooth shot from her.
She caught that with her feet set, ready to go. As the Wolverines lead by 38 points. And now just finishing up this game, there's 2.5 minutes remaining, is just a formality at this point. And a couple of more minutes, an opportunity for both teams. A couple of players who have not seen the floor much tonight. For the Terriers, that's Jada Mcmillan and Zaria Hutchinson from Alabama, getting into the game for the first time in this fourth quarter, given an opportunity, just a small one, to show what they can do in some garbage time minutes here. And for the Wolverines, that's Cameron Williams, who's played nicely in only 8 minutes of time here, as well as Solom, who you'd like to see use more of her strength in the post against a smaller defense. And Verjao also checking back into the game for Cameron Williams. The last couple minutes of this one. Now it'll be a violation from the Terriers to give the Wolverines back the ball.
Another turnover for the Terriers here.
Filia will find Verjao in the short corner, who shoots it off the back iron and taken down by the Terriers. The Terriers will set up their offense and try to get a good look here. Bissett swings the ball to Kavanaugh. We'll find Bandoma in the post, who has only played for 7 minutes but has had a big presence offensively and defensively, excuse me. And she'll go to the line to try and connect on a 3-point play. She converted that layup and was fouled. will try to get her 5th point at the line here.
She's brought that inside game that the Terriers have been struggling to find all afternoon.
That's right. Perhaps the Terriers made an error by not bringing her in sooner. She might have done a good job to match up with Naz Hillman early on, and that's Whitney Solom, with a nice poke away on defense.
19th turnover for the Terriers.
There's way too many turnovers. As Veraciao's forced inside, and she may have been bumped, but she moved her feet first. So a traveling violation will be called on her, with 1:40 remaining in this one. And Varga will control the point. And Solom playing some really great defense here late in this one with active hands. And Bandoma again going to her inside. She's done well in there. Might as well continue to feed her in the limited minutes that she's had. And she's fouled. She'll go back to the line. And in for Isabel Veracio is the 4th and final freshman, Taylor Gibson, who is getting her first minutes of the night. And we'd like to wish a happy birthday to Taylor Gibson, by the way. Not sure what happened there, but number 30, Zaria Hutchinson, taking a tumble on that free throw attempt. No foul call. The Wolverines will control the possession. A little over a minute to go. Felia on the penetration will kick it out to find Wiggins, who has to fight for that ball, but she retains possession. A nice crossover there, penetrating, finding Jordan Hobbs, who almost shot it, but decided to pass it up at the last second. And Felia with a running floater. That one rims around and it is no good, so the Terriers come away with it. Varga looking to attack. Not even looking for her teammates, and that one goes off her thigh in a crowded paint. Wolverines read that one well. And will bring the ball back down. So right now, all 4 freshmen in the game for the Wolverines, with one sophomore, Whitney Solom.
Wolverines just really playing keep away here.
Taylor Gibson will get up a 3-point shot, looking to get on the board, but that one does not fall. And an air ball attempt for the Terriers. And that will likely do it, as the Wolverines will inbound it. The shot clock is off, and Ari Wiggins will just control the point and dribble this one out. They will not look to score as the fans rise to their feet and give the home team a nice round of applause and a dominant performance here today. The Wolverines will win this one 82-46.
Really good game by the Wolverines here. They dominated early and in every aspect, both on offense and on defense. Naz Hillman put on a show in her time in this game. Just really impressive all around.
So looking forward, the Wolverines will look to continue this momentum into their next game on Tuesday against UMass Lowell. And they'll have a few more games after that before getting started with their Big Ten schedule. But for now, we thank you for joining us. This has been a pleasure to call this game on WCBN Sports Radio. We hope you all have a great rest of your day.